Okay guys, I just want to remind you again that as you watch my videos, hopefully by the way you're enjoying them to a certain extent, remember to think about maybe pausing the video on each problem before I actually do it. Try it yourself and then watch how I did it and see if you can't come up with the same answers. Good way to practice and study. Let's get going. So in this one here, they're asking for the value of p in this equation. In other words, I just want you to solve for p. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to minus 4p both sides. My thinking is I'm going to get rid of the p on the right side, and all my p's are going to be on the left side. So as you can see here, 8 minus 4 is 4p, plus 2 equal to negative 10. Be careful, that is a negative 10. Some of you guys do get careless with your minus and negatives, and you wonder why you keep getting the wrong answers, at least every once in a while. But anyways, now that my p is by itself, we can now solve it, right? I'm going to minus 2 both sides. Again, be careful with negatives. I know that 4p now equals, since 2 minus 2 is 0, negative 12. And to get rid of a times, we divide both sides by that positive 4, because after all, 4 divided by 4 is 1. So we're left with p equal to, and negative 12 divided by a positive 4 is negative 3. And that's why our answer is D. Pause your answer, or pause the video if you need to. Okay, let's take a look at a couple more here. Notice how this is equal to 0, guys. Whenever it's equal to 0, generally they're going to ask you to solve it. And what we have here, notice, is a quadratic. So we could do the quadratic formula, but again, I recommend, why don't we try factoring first? So I know x times x is x squared. Oh, 19 is a prime number. And if I do 1 times 19, there's no way I'm going to get a 7 out of that, right? So guess what, guys? I tried factoring, but it's not going to work. And so my only choice is to do the quadratic formula. So, does everyone agree my a is 1, my b is 7, my c is positive 19. Let me make sure. Yeah, they're all positive answers. So my c is positive 19. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to do the negative of the b, plus or minus square root. I'm going to take my b squared minus my 4 times my a times my c, all over 2 times the a. Now, to shorten this little lesson here, right in here, guys, when I do my radical, notice I end up with the square root of 49 minus, and 4 times 1 times 19 is like 76. I'm going to get a negative in here, right? In other words, it's going to be imaginary. There is no real solution, and that's why I know the answer was B. Pause the video if you need to. Now look at number 11 right here, guys. Did you pause the video and take notes, I hope? If not, pause right now and take notes, because I'm going to do some erasing. Okay, so number 11, this is a simple subtraction problem. So notice I have 3g squared minus 4g plus 2, and I'm subtracting this over here. So I'm subtracting 7g squared plus 5g minus 1. And this gives me a chance to remind you, once again, you got to distribute this negative, guys. You got to distribute the negative. So what I really have here is minus 7g squared minus 5g plus 1. That minus 1 and that minus makes plus 1. Now I just need to put all of this together, like terms. So 3 minus 7 is negative 4g squared G-squareds are done. Minus 4 minus 5 is minus 9G. And 2 plus 1 is 3. Pause the video if you need to. Okay, guys, let's do one more before we end this video. This one is an important one, guys, because some of you guys still get confused with that name zeros. Zeros is another name for the x-intercept. Okay? It's what you do when you plug in, you get a 0, in other words, okay? Another name for 0 besides x-intercept is also called the roots. These two words and that third word, guys, all mean the same thing. Roots, x-intercept, zeros. Okay, let's get to the problem here. Ooh, notice how it's a cube and there's actually 4 terms there. So, guys, this one, and you just have to kind of hope and pray it works. I'm going to factor, because we want to solve it where it equals 0, okay? Hence the name zeros. But I'm going to factor this by grouping. How do I know that? The higher power tells me it's a clue. Also, the fact that there's 4 of them gives me another clue. Okay? So, we're going to group them. Hence the name factor by grouping. We're now going to do a GCF on each of the 2 groups. So over here, notice I can do a GCF of x squared. Like so. Here, the only thing they have in common is the negative. Now remember, that negative or minus is really a -1. So I'm going to write it as a -1 or -1. And what I'm left with is x plus 2. Again, you can always check by going forwards, guys. Negative x minus 2 is perfect there. Here, x cubed plus 2x squared there. And notice how they both have a common factor. Notice the lingo factor of x plus 2. So guess what, guys? I can now do a GCF with the x plus 2, basically. And with the x plus 2 factored out, notice the only thing left is x squared. And over here, when the x plus 2 is factored out, the only thing left is my -1. Now I can set it equal to 0 and solve it. I know right in here, -2 makes it 0. I know this to be 0. X squared minus 1 equals 0. Solving for x squared, I'm going to add 1 to both sides. X squared, therefore, is 1. And once I do the square root, x is going to be... Now remember, we do square roots from now on, guys. You have a positive, but you also have a negative answer. And the square root of 1 is 1. So notice, when I look at my choices here, it looks like it's choice C. I have -1 and +1, and I have the -2 right there. So the answer is C. So guys, hopefully, I just got a call. Hopefully it didn't interrupt my video too much. I'm going to gamble that it didn't. But as you can see again, guys, this is my 3rd video in my series so far. Solving these polynomials with factoring and so on. Okay? More to come. See you later.